What impact has the Me Too movement had on how Hollywood conducts business?
It, in my many decades in the business, Hollywood has changed and morphed, but never as quickly as to respond to the Me Too movement that started in 2017. When I started in the business, every contract for an actor or someone involved in a movie had a morals clause that you did certain things and you could be fired for it. They wanted to protect their brand. Before the Me Too movement, that morals clause was fading out. People with leverage, people said, wait a second, you just can't get rid of us because you think this or that. With the Me Too movement, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, if you will, the morals clause has come back, and it is a demanded feature in every entertainment employment agreement, because the studios want that verbiage. They want those rights so that they can act quickly and decisively when there is a claim. I did some of the production legal work on a film called All the Money in the World. It was about the life of the Gettys, J. Paul Getty. And J. Paul Getty was played by Kevin Spacey. He acted in the part, he finished his role, he was paid, and then these Me Too accusations came out. And immediately, my client, in conjunction with Sony, they made a decision to take him out of the movie. And Christopher Plummer was hired. They reshot all his scenes and seamlessly cut them in to the movie. And if you see All the Money in the World, you won't know that Kevin Spacey was ever in it. So I had that personal experience. And then coincidentally, when that happened, I was also doing work for MRC, which produces House of Cards, and a very successful series. And he was the star of it. And he was immediately cut out, and everything was redone to get rid of the notion that Hollywood would support an abuser after the Me Too movement. And then because I was in the mix of all of it, I also know that Kevin Spacey had completed another movie for, and unlike All the Money in the World, they couldn't reshoot it. And it sits on the shelf, a movie about Gore Vidal that was finished but has never seen the light of day.
What's your understanding of why these companies wanted Kevin Spacey removed from those projects?
These companies, as I've said, they wanted Kevin Spacey removed because they didn't want the negativity. They want anyone removed so that they can get a return on their investment in our society, so that they are not seen as being in the old generation where women were not given the benefit of the doubt, where victims were not given the benefit of the doubt. And a switch has been turned, and certainly by 2017.
Are there certain types of companies that are particularly sensitive to these kinds of allegations made by women in light of the Me Too movement?
Well, I would say the bigger the company, the bigger the budgets, they're all sensitive. But at the pinnacle of sensitivity are the family-friendly companies like Disney. They're particularly sensitive, not in a general way, but in a very specific way.
Mr. Marks, are you familiar with the op-ed Ms. Heard published in the Washington Post on December 18th, 2018?
Yes.
What's your understanding of how that op-ed was received in Hollywood?
As I've said before, I am a member of the Hollywood community. That op-ed for the first time is in a mainstream publication called the Washington Post. This is a flagship journal, if you will, of American news. We're not talking about a trade paper. We're not talking about a rag. We're talking about the Washington Post. And it is geared to Hollywood. It says 2 years ago, when I was getting my divorce, Amber Heard is saying, I was the abuser and you didn't, Hollywood. You stood up for my abuser, not for
Objection,
me,
Your
the
Honor.
victim.
Objection.
What I'm saying is Hollywood got the subject matter of the op-ed loud and clear. Amber Heard was calling out Hollywood for supporting since 2016, supporting her abuser, and she felt the wrath of Hollywood. She was calling them out to do something. In the Washington Post and of her biggest film, a big film for Hollywood, the publicity machine was in high gear. There was lots of publicity and news out there. This was the height of her fame, and she used it at that moment to call Hollywood out. They, in my opinion, as a member of Hollywood, they heard that plea loud and clear, and it also got her publicity for her movie. In my perception, and people in Hollywood didn't see that as a coincidence, that date. So yeah, in Hollywood, I think the message was received that she was sending.
Do you have an opinion about the impact of the publication of the op-ed on Mr. Depp's reputation in Hollywood?
It's devastating. It's the type of claim, the MeToo claim of sexual violence, domestic abuse, that has canceled a list of actors. Chris Noth recently. I just read something about Frank Langella. We know casters, Les Moonves, head of CBS. Now Johnny Depp is in their ranks. It's devastating.